Welcome back to English Unlocked. Learn English naturally. I'm so happy you're here again. Every week, we talk about one thing that brings you closer to thinking, understanding, and living in English, not just studying it. And today's episode is something every learner has struggled with at some point. How do I build a big English vocabulary without memorizing endless word lists? You know that feeling. You buy a new notebook, write down 100 new words, and tell yourself, this time I'll remember them. And then, a week later, they are gone. Completely forgotten. It's frustrating, right? So today, we're going to fix that once and for all. I'll show you how people who actually speak fluent English remember and use thousands of words, without ever memorizing them like a school test. We'll explore why traditional word memorization doesn't work, how your brain truly remembers new words, how to make words stick naturally through meaning and emotion, and a complete daily routine you can start today to grow your vocabulary fast and never forget it again. So grab your headphones, relax, and let's unlock the real secret behind vocabulary fluency. Let's start with something honest. You don't forget English words because you're bad at memory. You forget them because you learned them in the wrong way. Let's test something. Imagine I tell you, the word serendipity means finding something good without looking for it. Okay. You understand it. But if you never use it again, if you never see it in a real situation, you'll forget it in 2 days. That's how your brain works. It doesn't store information that has no emotional or practical connection. Now think of your own language. How did you learn words when you were a child? You didn't memorize them. You heard them, saw them, felt them, used them. Your mom said, eat. You ate. Your dad said, sleep. You went to bed. Your teacher said, good job, and you smiled. That's the real way humans learn, through meaning, context, and feeling. So when you try to learn English words by repeating them 50 times in a notebook, you're actually going against how your brain naturally learns. That's why you forget. Now, here's the truth. Fluent English speakers don't have a bigger memory, they have stronger connections. Every word they know is connected to images, sounds, emotions, and experiences. That's why they don't forget them. When they hear rain, they remember the sound of rain. When they hear coffee, they imagine the smell, the warmth, the morning routine. When they hear failure, they feel emotion, maybe sadness, maybe motivation. That's what you need to do too. Stop learning words, start learning connections. Let's look at an example. Say you want to learn the word wander. Instead of just writing wander equals walk without direction, do this. Visualize it. Imagine yourself walking down an empty street, not knowing where to go. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're lost in thought. Hear the sound of your shoes. Feel the breeze. Say to yourself, I love to wander around new cities. Now that word has life. It's not a line in a notebook, it's an experience in your mind. And you won't forget it. Here's the science behind this. Your brain remembers best when something is meaningful, emotional, or surprising. That's why you remember song lyrics, jokes, or lines from movies, even years later, but not random words from a textbook. Because when you enjoy it, your brain says, oh, this is important. Let's keep it. So to build vocabulary naturally, we need to create emotion, story, and repetition in a natural way. Let's go step by step. Step 1. Learn vocabulary in context. Never learn words alone. Always learn them inside real sentences. For example, don't just memorize depend. Instead, learn. I depend on my friends. Children depend on their parents. Success depends on hard work. See? You've already learned the meaning, the grammar, and 3 ways to use it. If you only learn depend, you'll forget it. But if you learn depend on, you'll use it automatically, because it's a chunk of language your brain recognizes. That's why reading, watching, and listening are more powerful than flashcards. You don't need to study words, you need to collect sentences. Step 2. Use the word immediately. The biggest mistake learners make is waiting to use new words. The moment you learn something new, try to use it in your next sentence, journal entry, or message. Let's say you learn the word grateful. Don't just memorize it, use it right now. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for my teacher. I'm grateful that I can learn English online. Using a word turns it from memory into muscle. You have to touch the word for your brain to store it. Step 3. Listen and read what you enjoy. The more you enjoy something, the faster you learn from it. Don't force yourself to read boring textbooks. Listen to stories, watch YouTube videos, read short articles about your hobbies, or listen to songs. Each time you hear a new word in a real situation, your brain gives it more meaning. Let's say you hear the word challenge in a motivational video. Then you see it again in an article, overcoming challenges in life. Then you use it yourself. Learning English is a challenge, but I like it. That's 3 strong connections. Now you own that word. Step 4. Use active repetition, not passive memorization. Here's what doesn't work: reading a list again and again. Here's what does work: recalling it actively. So instead of reading, cover the word and ask yourself, what was that word that meant walking without direction? Oh yes, wonder. That moment of effort, that second your brain works, is when memory happens. You can do this using flashcard apps like Anki or Quizlet, or even a notebook. But remember, test yourself, don't just read. Step 5. Group words by theme, not alphabet. Stop learning random A to Z lists. Instead, learn words by topics. For example, the topic travel, you can learn trip, luggage, flight, journey, explore, wander, destination, map, adventure. All of these belong together. When one appears in your mind, others follow. That's because your brain stores them as a family. When you say travel, your brain lights up all the related words. This is called semantic grouping, and it's how native speakers organize vocabulary naturally. Step 6. Speak your vocabulary out loud. Words in your mind don't become part of your English until they come out of your mouth. So whenever you learn new words, say them. Make sentences aloud. For example, if you learned improve, say, I want to improve my English. I'm improving every day. My goal is to improve my confidence. Saying it aloud builds a bridge between your mind and your voice. Soon, those words will appear naturally in conversations. Step 7. Connect emotion to every word. Emotion is glue for memory. If a word feels nothing, you'll forget it. If it feels something, you'll keep it. Try to link new words with personal feelings or memories. For example, excited, think of a time you were really happy about something. Lonely. Imagine a quiet evening when you miss someone. Relaxed. Picture yourself on a beach or in bed after a long day. That emotional link makes vocabulary unforgettable. Step 8. Review in real life. You don't have to sit with a notebook to review. Your daily life is your classroom. See a cup? Say, cup. Hear the rain? Say, it's raining. Feel sleepy? Say, I'm feeling tired. Talk to yourself in English everywhere. It may sound funny, but this turns English into part of your daily thinking. Your brain learns through repetition and relevance. Step 9. Keep a vocabulary journal the right way. Yes, you can have a vocabulary notebook, but not the old-fashioned kind. Don't write one column for word and one for meaning. Instead, write full sentences. For example, wander, to walk without direction, it does not sound right. Instead use, I love to wander through old streets when I travel. Also, leave space to add more examples later. When you see or hear the same word again in a new sentence, write that sentence under it. This shows your brain, oh, this word appears in many situations, it must be important. Step 10. Learn in layers. Don't expect to remember a word the first time. You'll meet it many times before it becomes natural, and that's okay. Think of learning vocabulary like painting. Each time you hear or use a word, you add another layer. After a few layers, the picture becomes clear. So don't panic if you forget, it means your brain is still building connections. Now, let's talk about the biggest myth. Native speakers know all the words. They don't. They just know enough words deeply, and they know how to use them well. The average adult native speaker uses only about 3,000 to 5,000 words in daily life. You don't need 20,000. You need strong, flexible, meaningful vocabulary that you can actually use. That's why it's better to master 10 words deeply than memorize 100 words and forget them. Let's do a small practice right now. I'll say a few common words, and I'll give you examples. As you listen, imagine each one clearly. 1. Journey. My journey to learning English has been exciting. Imagine your own English journey, not a road, but a process. 2. Bright. The sun is bright today. Feel the warmth, see the light. 3. Whisper. She whispered something in my ear. Hear the quiet voice, imagine the moment. 4. Challenge. Every challenge teaches you something. Feel the strength behind that word. 5. Peaceful. The lake looked so peaceful in the morning. Picture calm water, no noise, just stillness. Now, you've connected each word to an image. That's what makes them unforgettable. Let's move to something very practical, your daily vocabulary plan. Here's a 20-minute daily routine you can follow. 1. 5 minutes, read or listen to something you enjoy in English. An article, a story, a podcast, or a short video. 2. 5 minutes, write down 5 to 7 new words or phrases that feel useful or interesting. 3. 5 minutes, make one personal sentence for each. Connect it to your life. 4. 5 minutes, say them aloud. Use them in a short paragraph or mini-story. That's it. 7 new words a day. That's 210 a month. And because you're learning with context and use, you'll actually remember them. Now here's one more secret technique, story building. When you learn new words, use them all in one short story. For example, Let's say your words are wonder, peaceful, bright, challenge, improve. You can say, last weekend, I went for a walk near the river. I wandered along the path alone. The morning was peaceful, and the sunlight was bright. I thought about my goals and how I want to improve myself. Life is full of challenges, but each one teaches me something new. See that? You just used 5 new words and made them part of a memory. That's how you make vocabulary stick forever. Before we close today, I want to leave you with one final message. Learning vocabulary isn't about memorizing, it's about living the language. If you keep your English inside books, it will fade. If you bring it into your daily world, talk, listen, write, think, laugh, and dream in English, it will grow on its own. So stop saying, I forget words. Start saying, I'm connecting words to my life. Let's end with our affirmations, just like always. I remember English words easily. I connect words with meaning. I use new words naturally. I'm building my English vocabulary every single day. Repeat those whenever you feel stuck, because your brain listens to your beliefs. Thank you for joining me on English Unlocked. Learn English naturally. You're not just learning English, you're changing the way your mind communicates with the world. Keep listening, keep connecting, and remember, don't study words. Live them.